Update your electrical at home. We're talking what's new and what's no longer safe with Mike Talty from Clover Electric. How are you, Mike?
Doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing great. For most people, if you turn on your lights and they come on, you figure everything's fine. How do you know when you need to call in an electrician?
Well, a few different things are, especially like knob and tube system. A lot of homes in Cleveland still nowadays have that knob and tube wiring. It's, it was perfect. It was cutting edge technology back in 1900.
Right.
But it was installed between 1900 to 1950s, and now it's tired. It's worn down, broken, and there's a lot of different ways that we can do things nowadays to make things safer. So
the knob and tube, it was literally like a knob on a joist with some wires wrapped around. Normally there's a lot of dust hanging off of them.
Yep.
And that's how you got some knob and tube wire.
Absolutely. You can usually see them in basements and things like that, but older homes, if they're built before the 1950s, then it most likely has some knob and tube wiring in there, unless you had somebody come in and replace it all, like me.
Now, I used to, when I was a real estate appraiser, sometimes I would go into a house and before I even got in the basement, I would see like 5 or 6 power, surge protectors or power strips with everything plugged into one outlet and cords coming from everywhere. I go, hey, I know they're going to need some updating on this one.
Yeah, that usually tells you that you're in an older home and there's not too many outlets sitting on the wall, so everybody's trying to plug in all of our new appliances today, and so just keep adding on surge strip after surge strip. They can handle some of it, but the more stuff that you plug in, the worse that it is. It's always best to have something plugged into a wall adapter and a wall outlet for it for the safest installation.
And if a 3-prong plug should go into a 3-prong outlet, not the adapter.
Correct. The adapters really don't help you out. They're not really grounding anything. They're not really protecting you. So it's giving you this false sense of security, thinking that everything's okay, but you could still get shocked or harmed for it, and your breakers in your panel, even if you have a brand new panel, that adapter can cause them to kind of trick them out, and then they don't work properly for you.
Now, speaking of these outlets too, the GFCI outlet, this is, some people have seen it but don't even know what it is. Normally you're going to find it like in maybe like a wet location in a kitchen or bathroom. Bathrooms,
kitchens, garages, basements. They're the typical places that you see them. They're the outlets that have that little push button in the center that has a test on it and a reset for it. What a lot of people don't realize is they have a 10-year life expectancy.
I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they, by the manufacturer's specifications, they only last 10 years. After 10 years, more than likely, they've broken down to the point where they're really not protecting anymore. So you could plug an outlet in or a hairdryer in, let's say, and run that. It'll still give it power, but it's not protecting you if you drop that hairdryer into a sink. And if you just push the test and reset button, it may trip and act like it's working properly, but it's not really testing all the functions for it.
That's what I didn't know. I actually thought the test button, that's what it was for. So how are you supposed to know if it's 10 years? I mean, no one goes around writing down the age of their electrical outlets.
Right,
how do you know?
Basically, if your house is over 10 years old, more than likely it's over 10 years old, so it's time to replace it. On top of that, you can call a licensed electrician like Clover Electric. We can come out and we have special testers that'll plug in and actually test the validity of the GFI, making sure that it's working properly, that it's acting safely, and it's more than just one of those little 3-prong plug-in testers that you see like a lot of homeowners have. It does more for testing the entire integrity of the outlet rather than just one component of it.
All right. Some things you can do yourself, some things calling an expert. Electricity is something I don't like to fool with. So we'll call the experts for ceiling fans and everything else, all right?
Absolutely. We can take care of it all for you.
That sounds good. Hey, after the break,